Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sexy Nerd Science, Season 6, Episode 1.
Oh, we're doing
I,
episode 1 today?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not
Yeah.
prepared for that at all.
Oh,
Hello
well,
there.
wait. What do we need to do? Some
No,
silly...
today let's say today is not one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I have stuff planned for one.
Oh,
Yeah, this today is
well,
not one.
it's the first episode of the year.
Yeah, this is just a continuation of 2020.
No.
Our
This
makeup
is just the
Christmas
end
episode?
of 2020. Yeah, this is the end of 2020 still.
But I wanted the expiration of 2020 to be the name.
No, that's
of it.
fine. That can still be. I'm just saying.
I made this helmet
Yeah, I
for
just
this.
it's just a
I made this drink for this.
there's other stuff we have planned for the first episode.
I melted this candle so I could talk into it like this.
We are not privy to that, Dale. Do you want to explain some of that later?
Yes, you are not privy.
Okay, cool.
It was supposed to be a surprise for you guys later.
I hate you.
Good evening.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is a live stream. This is not an episode.
Yes.
This is a recording.
That's it's gonna be good stuff. I mean, it's not like
I thought I was still muted because no one was laughing at
it's
my joke.
it's not like, you know, a million great things. It's just some cool stuff.
Dale's
Did
gonna
you say,
like.
oh my god, are we gonna have a million grapes?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Are we gonna have a million ants as a guest?
No.
Okay.
Million ants.
Ooh, you know what we should do as a guest though?
Yes. Night Mage.
Yes, no mage.
100%.
Million ants.
Is that the thing, Dale? Is that
No,
the
that's
surprise?
not the surprise, but it can be.
Okay, well let's get Night Mage on the horn then. For next week, I mean.
Yeah.
Not today. Okay, so Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to who's this? 13 hours, 23 minutes, and 55 seconds says good morning or good evening. But what'd you guys do? I know Josh was gonna ask this earlier, but then he said he was gonna save it, so now I'll ask it. What did you do?
For New Year's?
Yeah, did you guys do anything fun?
Me and Amanda laid in bed, and we saw that it was 11:48. Yeah, married after 7 years. Yeah, we laid in bed. We saw it was 11:48. We watched a 13-minute video about restoring an old pencil sharpener.
And then you were like, "Oh, it's the New Year. Good night."
And then all of a sudden, we heard from behind our house, right as the show was ending, boom! We're like, "Guess it's New Year," and the fireworks and everything just started going off. So.
Nice.
How does your dog do with fireworks?
He doesn't care for the most part. I mean, if it's super loud, like it shakes or rattles the house a little bit, he'll like look up and kind of move around. But for the most part, noises don't bother him.
Yeah, you got poor little tank over there, huh, Josh?
Oh my god, I had Tank under the blankets, freaking out. Bruce on top of me, just shaking.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Both my dogs hate fireworks.
Luckily, we're in a less secluded neighborhood, so they were a little farther off in the distance. But also, we were out by like 9:76.
Yeah.
Like 10 after 10.
9:76.
Like 10, 15 minutes after 10, we were gone. So, we were toast.
I was going to ask you if you did anything cute for
New
Year's.
Sort of. We watched Monsters Inc. with the monster and fell asleep, and then woke up at like 1 o'clock and was like, "Oh, the TV's still on."
Happy New Year! Click.
Happy New Year! Click. Yeah, that's basically it.
Your drinking of Sailor Jerry's reminded me of, like, I thought what James and his family did for New Year's was like the absolute like cutest family thing ever.
Oh, for sure.
They made like a balloon and like
a balloon drop with a sheet
and confetti drop. Yes, they put like the sheet up with the balloons on it, and then like basically mom and dad woke up the kids just before midnight, and they were watching the TV when it came down, and they both pulled on the cords, and all the balloons and stuff came down.
Hold on. Do you think they woke them up?
At the beginning of the video, I saw like they were running from down the stairs.
Wow. I didn't want
So-
the beginning was muted for me, so I couldn't tell. But
The
I
end of
guess
the
they
video,
do go
though,
to. I guess
they
they
went
do
in for
go
the
to bed
kiss.
pretty nice. Like they sleep through fucking anything. So,
I
but they
sleep
did
through
not
anything.
look. They did not look sleepy like they had been.
Sleepy.
Well, I
asleep.
don't think Jessica and James were asleep. I thought the kids were
No.
asleep.
I guess maybe Murphy looked a little sleepy.
My sister had Clark up for New Year's. They were just watching TV.
Charlie stayed up till New Year's with her mom and Phil,
Mm-hmm.
and man, she was dead to the world today.
Perfect.
The best drink ever.
I meant having one of your kids be super retired.
Yeah, my Kansas City Comic-Con. Man, I miss conventions.
I don't. I'm so happy. Like
Did you see my?
I told Iggy
+3
back like right before the new year for 2020. I was like, you know what? I've done so many conventions. I think I'm just done for 2020. Like, I thought I was gonna take a year off, and then everyone did.
Thanks, Dale.
Yeah, Dale, that's your fucking fault.
Granted, literally 1 year ago yesterday, I posted. I was like, after September, everybody should get flu shot. Like, we should have just a booth at every convention that just gives out flu shots. And then, like, if you want to donate back to the booth, you can, and then that'll help provide flu shots for the next year.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There are, like, if CVS or Walgreens, or Walmart, anybody that already does flu shots, were to set up a booth like that, I guarantee they would have people do it.
Yeah, why was that a bad idea?
It's not.
It wasn't, but it was just really ironic that I was like, because I posted it last year in January, and then 2 months later, a global pandemic happened that shut down all the convention.
Yeah, Josh fucked us.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Dale did it first. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
Dale.
I posted that status before Dale said his thing.
So okay. Well, Happy New Year. I didn't
do anything.
Did you? I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask. Is if you did anything. You laid with the dogs, right?
I watched TV, and then I was watching TikToks in bed, and then I was like, oh cool, there's New Year's TikToks popping up, and then I was like, oh shit, it's 12:10.
So Dale, got any resolutions? Do you do resolutions?
No.
Or I'm sorry, resolutions.
Yeah.
How'd you spell it, Josh?
Resolutions. I don't know how I did it.
I don't
put random O's and U's.
I have no resolutions that I want to contribute.
Do you have goals for 2021?
Nope.
Well, that means you can't fail.
It's hard to. Well, yes, but it's hard to know because like we want to travel, we want to do stuff, but we don't know how. With the vaccine, we don't know how the world's going to look in 3 to 5 months. So,
well, with the vaccine, we hope it does look better in 3 to 5 months.
If it looks more normal, then we wish we could. We want to go more traveling. We have
money
saved up. We want to go to Japan, but besides that,
like on a personal level,
can I come to Japan?
Josh, we may be going to Japan.
Arigato. But watch my Cobra Kai.
Dale, do you have like you want to stream more, or you want to do a thing more, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't put it into like a resolution format, but I mean, obviously, I just want to every day better myself to be better than I was the next day.
Okay, so you just don't want to have by 2022. You don't want to have gout. Is that like, could that be one?
It could be, but I don't care if I do.
But
burgers
are
realistic. Burgers and Coke are delicious.
Unless they come out with a vaccine for gout, I don't think Dale's getting rid of it anytime soon. I'm just
Like when I first got it, I was super excited that I was like, "Oh, I actually have to eat better, like eat vegetables and not drink so much Coke." And then like it didn't come back right away, and I drank like gallons of Coke, and I was like,
"Yeah, you found the way around it."
Well, I skirted the edge. I was like, "It's like this is where I get gout. This is where I'm at."
I too like to live dangerously.
Josh, what about you? Do you got any?
I mean, I was talking with Brittany about this earlier today. Like, I hate making and like making a big deal out of like the new year stuff. I'm all for like making resolutions and stuff, like that's cool. I mean, I getting a little more healthy and more financially stable are both really big priorities for me. They have been for at least a month or so, couple months now. So yeah, I mean, having the desk bike that I use daily now.
Gosh, do 2 hours, double
I
that time.
literally, my heart rate stays at 150 beats per minute for the whole 45 minutes that I'm powering through it. And
Yeah.
then it tells me to stop or I'm going to die.
Mm.
Yeah, so do it twice. Just do it 4 hours apart.
It
You could almost die twice a day and be okay.
I'm sure.
Almost.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have my watch on when I do other strenuous activities.
First of all, that does not happen with your watch. It's not a pedometer.
It measures my heart rate. It's got an EKG, an ECG on it.
Yeah, but
Granted, I'm not like and then like doing the thing on my watch to get the
I thought you were talking about.
EKG.
I thought you were talking about the sex. I was like, I've had the sex
Oh,
with my thing on, and it doesn't do anything.
yeah, I was like, you got to
You
actually
got-
have
yeah.
sex to be able to do that.
Oh,
So
And
I was
also, you
gonna-
can't
I-
be overweight. Where
I was
that
just gonna say-
oh my
strenuous.
god, yeah.
I was just gonna say you have to last more than 3 minutes for it to register as an
Whoa.
exercise.
Also, I have to take puffs of my inhaler after sex, which is super attractive.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, I wish I had an inhaler.
I got a big cup of water sitting next to my bed and then my inhaler right next to it. And I'm
Hey,
like,
it's
let's do
important.
this.
It is important to stay hydrated during coitus.
Yeah, of course.
Of coitus.
Of coitus.
Of course it is.
So you don't. Okay,
But yeah,
so obviously,
I don't use the first as a reason to set the resolutions, I guess. Like that, I don't use the new year for that. I kind of just like, hey, I'm gonna start saving money as of now and like keep it going.
okay, so since this was a fucking complete failure, I'll do
Sorry,
mine.
we're not your stereotypical. Yeah, Drew, what's your resolution?
Yeah,
I don't
Drew.
have resolutions. I just want to go to fucking work. I just want to do. I just want to do conventions.
I want
just-
to get a job.
Well,
Just kidding.
I mean that's definitely on there. But hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping quarter 3 and 4 are fucking convention packed. Everybody that normally does their conventions in the spring are all like C2E2 normally March convention, December of this year. Like San Diego Comic Con, I think they're slated for September or October instead of like
I put some miles on that truck.
mid-June. So I'm just really hoping that we can get that going. We have the one here in Omaha that's still slated to go. We're gonna wait and see, but that's February, so hopefully maybe we can make some people happy at that convention and keep us afloat a little bit longer. But
Josh, you're
yeah, I
breathing into
mean,
the mic a little bit.
But so the biggest thing is just trying to get back to doing that. That's my big ask from the universe. So
Cool.
but I did have some more in the beginning of the year kind of thing. What is one thing that you guys did in 2020 that you are excited or that you're glad you got or did or whatever? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that, as I say, I'm assuming that Josh is that bad boy.
Yeah,
right
my
there.
3D printers, and like just the craft stuff I picked up on during COVID, I think was something that I
Speaking of
really
Josh,
appreciate.
I'm gonna need you to make some chest plates for a Boba Fett.
Just you don't need a helmet.
Somebody else is doing me a helmet.
Yeah, your quality of helmets suck.
Yeah, your
Okay,
quality.
first of all,
That's what he's
No.
saying. That's what Drew's saying to you right now.
That's not what he's saying.
He won't do it in one piece, he said. He said he wouldn't do it in one piece.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's because it makes it worse.
No, it doesn't.
Telling you.
No.
Everybody who sells these things, like for
Bill's
$300 on eBay, makes them in 4 parts.
Bill's helmet. Oh fuck! I just broke this.
Yeah. Also, they make them in 4 parts, Josh, so they can easily mass produce them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, for ones that aren't mass produced.
It is easier and better for everybody involved to do it in 4 parts.
Anyway, Phil's helmet looks amazing, and it was done in one part.
Yeah. Gosh.
Your helmet looks good.
My helmet looks amazing, and it was done in 1 part. Like I'm totally agreeing with that. I'm just saying it was a bitch and a half to do a lot of things on this helmet that would have been easier if it was in parts.
You know, it also would have been easier if it was in parts.
Print time.
No, it would have
Supports.
been easier to fall apart.
No. That's not how PLA works.
It is 100% how PLA works.
Yeah, Josh.
Take it from the guys that don't have 3D printers.
I have no idea.
But yeah. So anyway, I'm glad you guys did that. Dale, what'd you do? Did you get
2020
something?
was a snow day for me. So imagine I was like, oh, it's a free day, and then 7 months happened.
Groundhog Day of snow day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, but like, did you get anything?
No.
Did you do anything to your house?
No.
You cut the tree. You got the tree cut, didn't you?
The tree got cut. The tree gets cut from DTE. I didn't do shit.
What about?
I never got cut.
He didn't even clean the garage because I didn't stay in his garage this year.
Yeah, I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. This was a temporary. It was a snow day. I didn't benefit my life in any way. I didn't move forward. I didn't learn anything. I didn't do anything to my life.
Just
it was
gone to in a coma for the last 8 months.
Yeah,
woke up.
I got fatter. That's pretty much it.
No, Dale, don't sell yourself short.
No, I've checked. I check my weight every month.
Every month?
Yeah.
Got to raise those numbers. Got to do those like twice.
Oh, the numbers are raising. That's the issue. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been very stagnant. Welcome everybody to the podcast, to the live stream. Everybody that's viewing us, thank you for joining us. Please comment and say hello. Yeah, or if you guys have any questions,
feel free to chat with us.
Yeah.
We'll get you guys.
I stopped checking my weight and kind of just go by how do I feel. Like my ankle pain is gone. I can do more activity like aerobically and feel better. So both those things I think make me feel like I'm less sore. I was really like halfway through the pandemic, I was doing so much nothing that like my legs were sore, my feet were sore. I would lay down for so long that like my shoulders would be all tense and stuff.
Yep.
And
that's how I feel.
So just by being more active, fix that.
I was doing stuff before the pandemic in January, February, and March. I was going to dance classes. I was going to
water aerobics.
I had water aerobics. It was low impact. I have this kink in my shoulder. Like this arm, I can raise up here. Like not that I'm doing this a lot, but I can raise up my arm pretty good here. With this one, it's kind of like stuck right here. Like I can get it all the way, but it's kind of like it's like
it's not fluid motion.
Yeah, it's not a fluid motion, and that's been happening all last year. And then I went to water aerobics.
On your left side.
I sleep on both sides though, so it could be either one. I think what it is when I sit here at my desk, I lean to my left a lot. I'm noticing
I
have that problem with my left shoulder as well. Because
do you keep your wallet in your back pocket?
Me?
Either of you?
I do, but not when I drive. I take it out
like even like right now, are you sitting down on your wallet?
No, I wore pants in 8 months.
I
swear to God, I have not done a single goddamn thing. I went
do
to
my laundry and I'm just like, I have one pair of jeans. Yeah. Like that's it. Like
I went to Amanda's grandma's house 2 days ago, yesterday to the day before, and she needed me to be picked up from somewhere, and I had to drive. So I haven't driven in a month and a half. And
it was like, how does this?
I didn't have my phone. I didn't have my wallet. I didn't have my pocket knife. I had my keys because Amanda gave them to me because she's been driving my car. I had nothing. I don't know.
That's funny.
It's not. It's very
Um,
sad in my life. But
If only your phone was your wallet and your keys.
Michigan, it can be.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
my thing is just the locker business.
Yeah.
We got pop-up lockers off the ground. Hoped for a good year. COVID fucked it up, but obviously, you know, it's nothing that we did wrong. It's I mean you could say it was something we did wrong. We got into a business that relies on people, and people are.
So it was a huge unknown factor, though.
But yeah, so that's my thing. But what
I can't remember. Like I was falling apart last January. Like I literally felt like
true.
everything. Like I had the penile cyst. I had my ankle stuff going on. Like just
You
everything.
had a cyst on your wiener?
No, on my bottom of my tailbone, my butt crack.
You said penile. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an ingrown hair.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
I had the same thing. Josh turned into me.
Gross.
Basically, like those were our conversations at the beginning. Like this same time last year, I was like, Dale, oh my God, did you have this happen to you? He's like, oh, I did. It felt like this. I was like, it does feel like that. And
Funny.
yeah, it's terrifying to see how. I mean, no offense, Dale.
It's I had it happen to me first.
I was like, I literally watched Dale go through all these things.
You
and
can,
I'm like,
you can come to me with your questions. I couldn't go to anybody. That was the scary part, because like something like it like some of this stuff is getting older, but like I can get behind, like, you know, getting old, like getting out of bed a little slower, or like, you know, stuff hurting a little bit, but not like full on can't walk or can't do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had, like, we canceled the Christmas live stream because my knee, I pulled a meniscus, and I pulled a tendon. I don't know what I actually pulled. It's on a piece of paper that the doctor wrote, but I pulled two things in my knee, and like it was like permanently bent. I couldn't straighten it out, and I couldn't bend it more. It was just constantly in a bent position. And
you couldn't have tossed a couple books on the ground and fucking left that bad boy up, and we
so
couldn't
like I would sit here, because, you know, I spend like a large chunk of my day sitting in front of my computer, and I couldn't sit here for more than maybe an hour. It would hurt because I would put pressure on it, and as I relaxed, it would either straighten out, or I would like have to put, like, I put it up and it would slowly straighten out over time, because I would relax my muscles, and that's good for getting back on my feet, to relax them a little bit, to get in positions and have it be strained a little bit. But it was just ungodly amount of pain. I was going back and forth between ibuprofen and acetaminophen.
Damn.
Yeah, but like a week ago,
right.
I couldn't walk, and now it's a lot better. So
how did it happen?
Yeah, how'd it happen, Dale?
I got up from a lower position than I'm used to, and I put a lot of pressure on my right leg. So I lifted all my body weight.
So that brings us to our next spot. Sex count for 2020.
Body count or attempt count?
Never attempt.
Because both you guys are stuck at 1. Granted, I'm at 0, so.
No, no, I think that's it for our. I mean, do we have any other sexy news? I mean, like, 2020 was a pretty shit year, so not really super sexy.
2021, you don't have to be the best year. You don't have to be the best part of the decade. You just have to be better than 2020. Like,
right.
That's where I'm setting the bar.
New conversation topic: is 2020 the old decade, or is 2021 the new decade?
I hate this, like, because everybody goes, well, you didn't start with 0. I was like, well, I mean, the first year was like, there was a year, like, if you do BC AD or whatever, you know, like, it wasn't, the first year was still like, it was a year. So the 0 to 1 was still 1 year. So technically it's the previous year, right?
I mean, there was a year 0 too, by the way. We just don't have very many events that happened at that time.
Yeah, but what about year one?
I'm a strong opinion that 2020 was last decade.
I would say
So
that's probably
2001
true. Yeah,
was the
this is
start,
the start of a new decade.
So this is the start of a new decade today.
See, I'm the other way. Because it's 0 to
9.
9 and then 0, like, so 2020. So like when you count by 10. So
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's, if you go by that, it's
a lot of people think the way you think, Drew. I'm just in the
because it's not. The problem is it's not a singular thing. It's a there's
So I'll say the decade starts on 2021, but if someone were to refer to like the 10-year span as like the 2020s, like it would start in 2020.
Yeah.
And I think I disagree with that. Like if you talk about like the 20s, I think it goes from 1921 or 2021 to 2030, 1930. In my opinion. But everyone writes it. Everyone writes it the other way.
I'll just have it both ways.
Yeah, have it both ways. Good thing we don't have to actually write it on anything, or it's not a.
So we don't call things by the decade anymore. Like,
the years ending in 0 end the decade. But 13 hours, 23 minutes, 55 seconds.
Do we know who that is?
We're just gonna say 13.
13.
We're calling 13. That.
That's my favorite number. All right, so let's do you have nightmares and sad thoughts?
I was just adding that for funsies, but we can still do it.
Cool. So let's jump into nerdy news. We never really finished talking about the Mando or how it
spoiler alert
ended, so we'll do some spoilers here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Dale, put that flasher on. We need that flasher for when we do this next time. Like a
Oh no, I can't do it. It's just gonna print a giant stamp that says "spoiler alert." Just like hold it up and then like down.
Gotcha.
You don't need that. It needs to come across the whole screen. So some Mando spoilers coming ahead. Can you guys believe that Chewbacca showed up in season 3 of Mando?
It was just really cool. I'm happy they did that.
I mean, I cannot believe they put Chewbacca, and the way they had him like dressed as a Jedi really solidified the fact that
it was a twist.
It is a super big twist. Like I didn't think that he would ever hold a lightsaber, and here he was just swinging away, Meryl, swinging away. Okay, now that we've weeded out people who don't know anything about what we're talking about, what did you guys think? Did you guys watch all of season 2? Dale, I know you waited till basically like the end, right?
Yeah, I like doing them in big chunks.
Big chunks. Yep. Me too, Dale. Don't go in that room.
Big chungus.
Yeah, when I was watching the final, or not the final episode, the second to final episode, when he was like doing the ring around the Rosie and big light Vegas thing. Go ahead, Josh. Criticize the way I'm saying.
I am so confused. Like the second to last episode, I'm thinking in my head what the second to last episode is, and I can't.
The episode
picture
where they're
what you just described
on the mountain, and the guys came down and took the Baby Yoda, and
there's a whole episode after.
He sat on the rock and the ring around the Rosie thing, and the light came.
Got it. Okay. So yeah.
So when he was doing that, I figured he was gonna call who he called.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Now I didn't know how they were going to incorporate that into the movie or into the show, but I was glad they did it the way they did.
So when season 1 ended, I did a deep dive into where Mando fell in the timeline, and because I didn't know.
So late to the game.
Star Wars is like a C thing for us, okay, Josh?
I know. I literally like the day Mandalorian came out, I was like, when does this take place? 7 years? Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like when I watched it and then I did the homework after because I wanted to just watch it and then go, okay, that's where all that stuff took place, yada yada yada. So, but I found out, and as soon as I did that, I was like, in this series, we're gonna see this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. I did not expect to see who we saw at the end first. I didn't.
Did you expect Boba Fett?
What? I didn't expect Boba Fett as early in the series. I thought we would have
So
gotten
when did you expect Boba Fett though to come in? Like when did you know? Because I'm assuming it was in season 1. You were like, "Oh, Boba Fett's going to make an appearance."
for sure. So Boba Fett was the first person I immediately thought of, but I didn't think it was going to be as early. So I thought it would be I thought that the whole thing, like the whole series would be leading up to like Mandalorian. Like okay, so you have Boba Fett as is like the number one known Mandalorian. You can show anybody Boba Fett, and they'll know he's a Mando. Blah blah blah. So I assume that that would be the whole series, and we'd have maybe 5 or 6 seasons of how do we get to Boba Fett, right? Figure out, and then you find out where it's in the timeline and how it falls into place. So I didn't expect to see him, but as soon as they in season 2, as soon as they started saying he's got to find a Jedi, my immediate thought was Luke. The entire time it was like, okay, this is where it takes place, and the strongest Jedi that we know of, you know, uh,
The only Jedi that like is out at the time.
well, yeah. Um, but then we started seeing. She said something about um the darkness, right? Didn't was it Ahsoka that said something about darkness?
Yeah, she said that he's well
A
because
couple things, yeah.
Yeah.
he was attached to the Mandalorian, so
And how
Well, so
attachment's a bad thing
yeah.
because she
yes,
watched that corrupt her old master.
exactly. So, and that's when I was like, ooh, what if he doesn't call Luke but somebody else? At the point where he was supposed to get a hold of somebody when she said, "Go find this," blah blah blah. So we got into there, um, but because we didn't. I don't think we ever talked about season 1 because of 2020 was we were AFK. Um, so ended when season 1 ended, we were basically not recording. Um, where so the dark saber, Josh, you're gonna probably be more knowledgeable on this one. Why why is that so why was the issue so couldn't she take it? I understand it's like the way they described it, but I thought that she did take it at a previous point in time.
She did. So I think that was part of so the last we saw of the dark saber,
Prior to
Sabine
Mando?
Wren, yeah,
Okay.
Sabine Wren was handing the lightsaber. So Sabine Wren beat Tar Vizsla, who had
You,
the
you
dark
tell us
saber.
what we're talking about.
This is in Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
So Star Wars Rebels takes place between movies 3 and 4. Um, and so before A New Hope. So Sabine Wren was part of Phantom Squadron with Ezra Bridger and Kanan Jarrus and Harrison Dula. So that was the whole thing of Star Wars Rebels. And the last we saw of the Darksaber, Sabine Wren had beaten a Mandalorian uh, for control of the dark. So he was in charge of. He was working with the Empire that took over control of Mandalore. She beat that Mandalorian, took the Darksaber from him, and then her mom ended up killing that Mandalorian. So then she wanted to give the Darksaber back to a proper leader of Mandalore, because Sabine Wren didn't feel like she could lead the people of Mandalore, so she gave it to Bo-Katan.
Oh,
And she just gave it to Bo-Katan, and
And
Bo-Katan's like,
and
no,
that's
I
the
can't take
girl
it.
in the blue.
yes.
Correct. And then she's like, no, I can't take it. And she's like, you have to. You're the only one. And she's like, okay, fine. And she reluctantly takes it. And the last we see of it, Bo-Katan's raising up her little darksaber, and a bunch of Mandalorians are all bowing down for Bo-Katan. After that, something big happens between the Empire and Mandalore, where Mandalore gets essentially destroyed by the Empire. And we don't know what happens. I'm assuming Bo-Katan blames herself for the destruction of Mandalore, because she was not the chosen ruler, because
it's
she
like
didn't get the dark saber through the means she was supposed to. So
so
when
it's
she
kind of
was
like
defeated,
a superstitious thing now at that
I
point
think, yeah.
because okay,
So I think she's nervous to take it, because she knows that the last time she accepted the dark saber
something
by
bad
someone just
happened.
giving it to her, even though she's the rightful ruler of Mandalore, or at least the best ruler for Mandalore, best, something bad happened when she did it last. So she's like, nope, can't do it. Sorry. Like, and I think that's why that's in there. And again, if you didn't watch Rebels, I don't think they played that off very well in The Mandalorian, or they didn't make it clear, because you didn't know the lore. But so that's like, I like how you just described it, because then I can be like, oh, like there's all these things where you're just like, this is a straightforward, it was going to be Luke. It's so obvious that was Luke. And the whole time I was like, is it Luke? Is it Ahsoka? Is it some other Jedi? Is it,
Well, there'd be
was this?
Ahsoka because it was Ahsoka told him to go there, didn't she?
Well, so
Well, but before we even met
before
Ahsoka,
we
like when
so
the Smith is like, the I can't
oh,
remember the person's name,
the
but the armorer,
Mandalore, yeah.
yeah, when she was like, you got to find more of his kind, I was like, okay, going through my list of known Jedi who are alive right now, possibly Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka, if she could be considered a Jedi, Luke Skywalker, um,
Or some unknown new person they could bring
Cal
in.
Kestis, Cal Kestis's master. I can't remember her name, but she wasn't necessarily considered a Jedi anymore either. So there's at least 5 Force sensitive people that are alive,
And
most likely
I had a
at this
question
time.
about the fact that like the beacon thing was just to say, "Hey, I'm here, I'm available." Like it doesn't actually necessarily say it's only going to Jedi. It
Also,
could just be, "I'm here, I'm familiar with the
It
Force."
goes to anybody who has a connection with the Force.
So it could
yeah,
have gone to
so
any Sith or bad person.
If there was any alive at the time, and at that point in time, there weren't any Sith. Even, I mean, Palpatine was still probably just a zygote in a tube somewhere.
yeah.
Actually, no, Palpatine wasn't alive there either, because most likely they were working on cloning technology to clone Force sensitives, um, so they could keep their Force powers. That's what Baby Yoda was so useful for, I think, is what
Yeah.
we're going to get
And they
into.
already have his blood, so that's when they get
Melissa Sue, thank
Yeah.
you for following and welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
um
But yeah, the whole time I was on a roller coaster of like, we're walking through. So like, I knew Boba Fett was alive from Star Wars Aftermath. They made that very, like, he's alive. I knew that Cobb Vanth had Boba's armor. That was also another thing that was made aware in canon books. So when I saw the episode where we meet the assassin in season 1, and then you see the person walk up to her body, and you see the boots, people were like, "Oh, that's Boba. It's got to be Boba." I was like, that could be a number of people that are living on Tatooine right now, and it could even be Cobb Vanth in Boba's armor walking up to her. Like, we couldn't just assume that it was Boba Fett walking up to her. But I do like that they kind of just spoon fed, like, yes, of course, it was Boba. We knew it was Boba that walked up to her. Like, that's what all the fans thought. That's what
yeah.
all the people who weren't up to the lore thought it was going to be. Same thing. They're like, oh, it's going to be Luke. Luke's the Jedi who shows up at the end. And the people who were like trying to follow it, and like, I felt like, oh man, I felt like Charlie in that meme where he's got like all the lines everywhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
it could be Ezra Bridger who shows up, and here's why. Like Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, and the last time we saw Thrawn, it was when Ezra and Thrawn were together, and Ezra used his Force abilities to pull Thrawn into the unknown regions where Thrawn's from. And like if that girl's around, that means Thrawn's back, and if Thrawn's back, then that means that something, Thrawn survives, which means Ezra probably survived, which means like
Is
they're gonna bring Ezra back.
is the Mandalorian, that the main character, is he in any way special? Like, does he hold
I
any?
think he's going to be.
Well, yeah, I understand he might be going to be, but I'm
Oh,
saying like
he's
currently.
not that from my understanding, he is not anybody that's currently in Star Wars lore, right?
Not from anything I can tell, no.
So the Mandalorian is creating his canon as
Okay.
Din Djarin, right?
The only thing I can think of is that he might be a descendant from the Vizsla family, which would make him a rightful ruler of Mandalore as well. Um, that's the only thing I can think of, because I think that's kind of what they were setting up at the end, is like, oh shit, like
'Cause he's gonna have
Mando's gonna have to sit on, bring Mandalorians back together again as their ruler until he's defeated by somebody else.
So where do you see season 3 going?
That I think we're gonna be back on
he's
either we're gonna be on a moon of Mandalore or something where he's bringing the people, the Mandalorians, back to their planet and starting over again.
so let's jump back to the ending. Uh how did you guys feel about um the CGI for Luke?
Oh,
It
fine.
looked weird at the beginning. I couldn't tell that was Luke right away. Like right when he showed it, I was like, "Is that supposed to be Luke?" Because it looks a little weird. Like I
Yeah.
know they tried to probably pick his they took this old face and they probably deep faked it onto some younger guy, and that to do
Yeah.
the actual process. But
So
I wish they
I
would have
saw
R2D2 solidified it for me when they showed
yeah,
R2D2 and he walked over and then his voice and everything. I was like, okay, this is definitely Luke
yeah.
Skywalker.
So I looked at a lot into or not a lot into, but I looked at a lot of the Sebastian Stan comparisons, and I still think that they did if he's going to be in as much as is uh maybe we think going to be. I mean, because okay, so here's my take on it. You don't make a character like Grogu and kick him out. I mean, I don't think that they're going to have their number one best selling toy for the Christmas season disappear from the series. Um, I think we're going to follow. There's going to be a following of that, and that's going to be a subplot for the Mandalorian. I mean it's television 101. You have a main storyline, you have characters that you build on that storyline for a couple seasons, and then you split and you follow a couple storylines. Um, so I think that it's better to have that CGI there, but I really hope that they can. So the deep fake that I saw of them using Mark Hamill, like a younger version, a photo, versus whatever they did, it was the face looked better, but the mouth didn't move as well. So I think that it's just going to take something that's a little more fine tuned. And like I said, if they put more of him in it, then I think that they'll probably get some better.
I'd like to
But
see an animated Luke Skywalker Grogu thing. I don't know if I would want to see a full series with CGI'd Mark Hamill, Luke, and Grogu, or
and
even more than an episode of it, honestly.
yeah,
I agree.
uh, So I mean, and that's definitely obviously anything's a possibility with Disney. So
You can't.
um,
I agree with what you shouldn't get rid of the character Drew, but I think they have to because it doesn't make sense in the story plot. He was the story. He was the
see
plot of the story.
so the other thing is the show is called Mandalorian, right? So we're actually looking at the story of the Mandalorian and how those, like how we go from point A to point B with the Mandalorian. But we don't. There is no mention, and so here's my issue: is if there are no Jedi at the point of Episode 9, then where is, I mean, the the Grogu should live to be what, like 400 or something.
That's assuming he makes it off the Jedi Temple.
I mean, I suppose.
So I mean, I think Mando's gonna get him back before the events of Kylo Ren destroying the Jedi Temple. I don't
Yeah.
think Grogu's gonna make it through his Jedi training.
I mean, that's the only way
I
to
don't
bring him
see it.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think it's gonna be a because of the bond, because
Yeah.
of the strength and bond?
They left it open, so
Yeah.
that could be a way that they have to reconnect.
Were you guys hoping that he would give him the little ball?
Little trinket? No, because then what would Mando have?
The 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 knowledge? I mean,
The memories?
the memories?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he gave him the picture or the mental image of his face.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping he'd give him that little ball from the exploded. But anyway, last but not least, that post credit scene, or that mid credit scene, setting big things up, right, Josh?
For the most part, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, it set up a big Bib Fortuna. Bib Fortuna wasn't that fat the last time we saw him, so
no,
it was interesting that he got all fat. It's just the same actor.
I did see that.
Yeah, I was watching the special. They literally got the actor who played Bib Fortuna in Phantom Menace
Was that
to
episode?
play
Was
Bib
it 2
Fortuna again. Phantom Menace? No, episode 1.
or well, episode 1? I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're like, hey, could you be? We want you back. And they're like, oh
So
yeah, of
do you
course.
think Boba Fett will be, a subplot in some fashion to the Mandalorian story arc with
I think because the way that
the
they
Hutt
ended it with the
Empire?
Book of Fett, I think that they're going to. That's
Because
probably going to be
Hutt's a big name, right? Like, isn't Hutt like not just
Jabba
It's a
the
him?
Hutt.
syndicate, a crime syndicate.
Yeah, so it's not just Jabba, right?
No, there's a bunch of them.
Was
There's
that
at least one hut on Jakku right now too, at the time of
so? Do
that
you
going
think
on.
that the Hutt family coming into play might show their face in the next season? I feel like I'm interviewing.
I think so. We don't know what happened to Jabba's son, which is something that I think
Jabba
kind of gets
Jr.
missed. Yeah, like he he's introduced in Clone Wars in the very first movie for Clone Wars. But yeah, they definitely don't ever talk about what happens to him again. So there's a strong possibility that maybe, I mean, with the timing, you're gonna have, a fully grown slug Jabba's son who now hears that Manda or that Boba Fett's taken over his father's palace and there's no one there. Maybe Bib Fortuna was working for the Hutts as kind of like, you're gonna be in Jabba's place for now until his
Interim.
son's old enough to take over.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just because
That's entirely
he was
possible.
part of the group anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really
A Hutt
possible
loyalist.
storyline there too as well. Now, granted, like I was just saying about the whole Mandalorian thing, like the people who know what's going on in the background, who have like done the study and be like, oh, this person's alive, this person's here, like none of that pans out. Like the only thing I knew is that Ahsoka was going to be in season 2 at some point in time, and then immediately when I saw Ahsoka, I was like, they're going to make a TV show about her, and then
The
they made a
actor
TV show
did a
about
good
her.
job.
Oh yeah,
Rosario
Rosario
Dawson.
Dawson wanted that role
Yeah.
for a
They,
long time.
I was
I
saying
wish Ashley Eccles was still the voice, but yeah.
that's but that's just a nostalgia, but like a what's the when you're used to something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, so all right, so sorry, I'm just trying to kind of keep us on track here.
Yep.
Good.
Is there anything else about the Mando we want to talk about?
I mean, overall, how satisfied were you guys with season 2 over season 1, or?
I mean, season 2 definitely. I mean, there's some stuff that happens in season 2. That's like, so I was gonna say it earlier, but I really wish that I understand how like it made it feel for that second to last episode when he pulled his helmet off, but I definitely felt like the moment when he did it for Grogu would have been 10x more jarring for us as the viewer if he would have done it if he wouldn't have done it in the previous episode.
Yeah, I agree.
That they there's something that they could have literally wrote anything in there about that to do that. You know, maybe even I mean, I had we seen his face before?
Yeah, he was injured and the robot helped him.
That's right. So but that was kind of I think that was kind of a one-off. Um kind of like for us as the viewers, I mean what Pedro Pascal looks like. I mean, it's not like it's a mystery actor or anything like that. But
Honestly, though, I'm sorry to interrupt. I thought it was the guy from who's the Firefly guy, the main Firefly guy,
Nathan Fillion?
Nathan Fillion. Swear to God, when I first heard his voice the first time, I was like, "That Nathan Fillion, or that
Yeah.
actor." And
It
I kept
was,
hearing it, but then he had like a twang of like I don't know, some like southern, not like. This is gonna sound racist. How anyway I say it, like it sounded,
Like Antonio Banderas?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I heard that every once in a while.
yeah, exactly. Antonio Banderas. I looked it up because I was like, it sounds like a mix between those two, and it kind of is. So there's the racist.
I mean,
there's the racist.
Antonio Banderas. You get Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's it.
so but yeah, so like they could have writ anything in, like even like uh you know I don't know. I can't.
No,
But
they literally could have made ex Imperial guy go in there and do it himself, because he
and
literally, the whole plot point of you need to go in there and do that because I'm scared to show my face in front of my old commanding officer was
yeah,
completely overshadowed by the fact that the second Mando got in trouble, he was Johnny on the spot, like, let's go fill out those TPS reports. Like,
yeah,
what the shit happened? Like, 10 seconds ago, you were like, oh, I can't go in there. I can't do it. We're done. It's over. And then, like,
yeah,
you're like, oh shit, Mando's about to get caught. I better go save him. Like,
And then
come
they get
on.
yeah,
caught.
Like, yeah. And then he's just like, fuck it, blow my cover anyways. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this
yeah.
whole plot point is like void because you decided to do that. But
Exactly. So, and that's what I said, like, obviously we have seen it, but he didn't take it off. It wasn't a
in
willingly
front of another
thing, yada
human.
yada. In front of
Yeah.
another human. And so that, I mean, and to have him do, I mean, it was still one of those things where he did it in front of the other Mandos where he previously had stated he wouldn't. So that was, in my opinion, that was one of those things where it was like still pretty powerful. But I mean, seriously, I said it on Facebook. Kevin Smith was not the only one that fucking cried when that happened. I was like in tears that Luke Skywalker came up, even though I knew, or even though I anticipated it. It's just like one of those things where it's
And
it's crazy.
I hate to go
It's
back to this episode again, but that same episode where Mando took his helmet off, there was the whole subplot in that entire episode about how like the New Republic is just like the Empire, and ex-Imperials and Imperials and rebels are all the same. Like
when
it
he's
doesn't.
talking in the cab of the
Yeah, like that whole thing. But like then also, I mean, you see like the pirates that were attacking and the things, like they weren't trying to steal the cargo. They weren't trying to do that. They were trying to get the Empire off their fucking planet. Like
yeah
they were the new rebels, and Mando was basically killing people who just wanted to get the Empire off their planet, you know?
yeah
And like that was kind of another subplot in there that made more sense for like while Mando's like maybe the way isn't the only the
yeah
way.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why he took off his helmet in that episode. And then later on, he was like, I've got a whole new family group of friends here. You know,
yeah
there's other Mandalorians that all take off their helmets except for my small fringe group.
yeah. And most of those guys died, didn't they, in the first season?
We don't know if they died,
Well,
but
wasn't that the whole point? Is like they had a bunch of he found a bunch of them
he
helmetless
found a
and
bunch of
dead.
their helmets and armor and stuff on the ground. But
I
then
guess
when he
yeah,
talks
we
to the
don't.
armorer, she makes it seem like a lot of them got away and that they'll rebuild and be able to,
So basically, they took their helmets off to disperse.
Yeah.
or they were just extra helmets laying around or something like that.
It didn't seem
Yeah.
like there was extra helmets laying around. It made it seem
No,
like
Yeah,
those were the helmets of the people.
yeah,
But we do have to keep moving. We're getting kind of long
yeah.
right here.
well,
So
so the final thing on that though, because I guess the thing I posted, I don't know if you guys wrote that in there about crying or being emotional at the ending of.
I saw that. I don't know. The guy, what's his bucket, the producer or whatever, that thing. You talking about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So an
I
exec for Star Wars was literally like, "Don't show your emotions. That's stupid," and made a meme out of arguably one of Star Wars's biggest fans on the internet, a YouTuber that goes by Star Wars Theory, he made a Darth Vader film that was really good, and
What
has
do you
done
do?
tons of things. So when that dude was watching he was live streaming his reaction to the final episode, and he started crying when he saw Luke, because if you know his backstory, he was saying that Luke Skywalker's always been a hero for him when he was going through chemo. Like Luke was the one who was like that whole story was what helped him get through it. And this Star Wars exec, this Lucasfilm exec, literally was making fun of him on Twitter. And then when he commented that like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, the dude deleted the comment but then made it his banner on his Twitter page. And like, so he made a video about it, and he's like, this is super unprofessional for somebody from Lucasfilm to do this. Like, we're your fans, and to tell us we have no right to be emotional about an ending like this, like that's so stupid. Like, who are you to say that? And so then like
yeah.
Lucasfilm was like, hey, dude, like you need to apologize, I'm sure, behind the scenes. And then a couple of days later, he released an official apology, and he's like, I didn't mean to say those things. Like
Well,
anyone can show emotions. And
didn't he backpedal at one point and say something about how he was he was being self-mocking about how he himself was like,
yeah,
don't
I think he
show.
was trying to save face for it.
Yeah,
And so he's since faced some criticism for his apology being kind of half-assed, or at least like he's only apologizing because he got caught. And like I know this is kind of cancel culture topics, but
yeah,
like the dude was being a dick. Like, so I watched like when the YouTuber found out that this dude was making fun of him, he made a YouTube video about it that day, posted it online, and then the next day, Screen Rant, the people who posted this, like that's when all this drama went down, and they're like, "Oh, we're reporting that he's now revoked his like what he said, and now he's apologizing about it." Like, yeah, it's because this dude's super famous on YouTube, and you just made fun of like a huge fan, like you don't do that for your emotional reaction. Like it was a sad movie. I don't think I cried at that part. Like when Luke showed up,
I was more
but like yeah,
excited.
with the helmet thing, I was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean when Luke showed up, I was literally like, okay, can I see his lightsaber to know who it is? Because there's more than one Jedi who's alive right now who has a green lightsaber. And then I was like, okay. Like then I saw his hand and I was like, wait, was that his left
The
hand or was that
hand.
his right
Yeah,
hand?
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't tell like what was in the glove, what was not. And I was like, oh shit, it's the right hand in the glove. Like, oh, it's Luke.
Yep.
Like, and I was like, oh, I see that lightsaber. And I knew it was
Yep.
the lightsaber too. And I was like, oh, it's Luke before I even
You didn't
saw
have
Luke.
any. You didn't have any thought at the X-wing.
The X-wing. As soon as the X-wing came in, first thing I thought of was Luke, Luke Skywalker. Then I saw the hand, the cloak with the hand, the gloved hand, and I was thinking, who wears what Jedi that I know of wears a glove? Only one. It's Luke Skywalker. And then he had the green lightsaber, and then he started doing everything.
Anakin wore a glove too.
Well,
Okay, well, he's dead.
Yeah. What Jedi alive do I know that's where I go? But the X-Wing's a super popular rebel / Jedi ship at that time. Like
for sure. But we know for a fact that he had the X-wing basically until he like buried it in the ocean.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What I was looking for was the call sign. If there was like a red, like if they saw red 5 on the, I don't know,
maybe they did. Maybe
No,
it was,
I don't know the language, the written language on the radar, but I know people do translate that. If it said red 5, then I would have been like, oh shit, Luke Skywalker.
Well, they
like,
wouldn't have known. Like the Imperials wouldn't have known that was Red 5.
No, but if the call sign on the like, so if they because they picked him up on the radar, I don't know if he had his call sign blasting on the
Yeah,
radar.
but a transponder and a radar are two different things.
No, yeah, that's totally true. But they picked it up, like, because he could probably have just had an active transponder signal going, because he didn't care. He's Luke fucking Skywalker at that time, like. But like, I was like, Ezra could have totally gotten an X-wing too and pulled up there. Like, I thought it was Ezra. Honestly, that was one of the people I thought it was going to be at first.
well, you know what? Luke's
He's
better
going to
than
be in the
Ezra.
Ahsoka. I don't know if that's true.
Come on, Josh.
Can you fight your arch enemy from a distance and then die?
Josh.
Ezra can talk to space whales.
Josh is better than Ezra. It's a fucking music reference.
Space whale. Oh, better than okay, yeah, okay, that makes music preference. I gotta get that now.
Wonder
But
Woman.
space whales.
Wonder Woman.
We gotta move on. Wonder Woman. So
hold on. By a show of thumbs, up or down, overall thing of Wonder Woman 84.
well, hold on. Did we all watch it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
This is mine.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mine is this is mine. Mine is
Well, good. We got the full gambit.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Dale,
gambit,
why thumbs down?
Thumbs down. I thought the initial opening scene was very corny. I thought it. I'm okay with being funny. Movies being, those kind of movies being funny. Guardians of the Galaxy style, like comic book style, did a great job with that. But I think that like I said, the opening scene was very corny. It wasn't believable, in my opinion. I thought the plot wasn't believable. I thought the ending wasn't believable. I thought the whole movie's plot was full of holes. Didn't make the
Because it was the
movie.
Mandalorian. You're like, how's this dude ruling Mandalore?
Yes,
while he's.
Well, no, I thought he was fine as a bad guy. Like I thought he did a good job. I thought all the actors did a great job. I thought they played their characters really well. I enjoy the actress who plays Cheetah.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig.
What? Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah. I knew she was going to turn into the bad guy based on, just, stuff before the movie, like
Superhero tropes.
Yeah.
No, just like trailers and shit. And so
that she was slated to be Cheetah for a while.
Yeah, so, I didn't know that. I try to stay away from like storyline stuff before movies, but I did know that she was going to be based on the trailer.
It sucks because everybody wants to make news of castings, and it ruins.
So maybe that's why I didn't watch I knew the trailers. I completely had no idea Cheetah was going to be in this until.
Oh, neither did I. Neither
See,
did I.
mine wasn't trailers. Mine, that's the thing, is mine wasn't a trailer. It's people make it's like news articles. Like
Yeah.
my Google, like if I pull up Google right now, half of my like sponsored like news articles are D&D stuff, Marvel stuff, or like comic book movies, Star Wars, anything like that. And most of that is castings for movies. So it's
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, Christian Wiig is cast in Wonder Woman 84 as Cheetah.
Yeah.
Or like before Mandalorian, it was like Rosario Dawson says she wants to play Ahsoka in the live action. So
Yeah.
it's this, which I mean, some of that stuff's just common knowledge. But anyway, continue, Dale. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It was to me going from, if you're trying to stick with continuity, going from where they had the whole world, like just so many, to me, so many plot holes, not in the show itself, but in the continuity with Justice League, um, or where how she was later in life. It just blows my mind how that movie was made, in my opinion.
All right,
So
so I'm gonna, me, because I'm in the middle. We're gonna work our way to the higher review. Uh, uh, I I like the movie for a movie. Fine, as a movie, I'd watch it. We watched it twice in like 3 days or whatever. I'm probably gonna watch it uh, another couple times before it's off. It's only on HBO Max for the month of January,
And that's
basically.
for a this. He's going to watch it
Yeah.
3 times for a this.
So, I mean, so for me, the corniness that Dale mentions, I think, based on what we find out, and again, spoilers, spoilers. Um, I think a lot of that is going to have to do with, um, because it's in '84. Like, we find out a lot of things by the end. Um, uh, but I mean, I think it was supposed to be corny, like the first Wonder Woman's, like the show. Um, so like you see, uh, what's her bucket plays Astoria at the end. Like, I think it's all kind of fan service to that corny, like
To the old TV
to
show.
the old TV show. I mean, I really think it is. It's the way things move. Obviously, uh, but it looked very, like Dale was saying, it looked very unrealistic even for Marvel, for a superhero movie. Uh, and I think that was an intentional thing. I don't think that that was something that they were missing the mark on. I think that that was the intentional. They wanted to make it seem that corny. Um,
I can see that.
but my biggest thing were plot holes, like you said. I mean, like, there's a lot of different things. Like some things just disappear. Like some of them just disappeared, and then uh, like specifically the nuclear missiles. Like some of them disappeared before they were shot, and some of the other ones exploded in air. Like a nuke exploding in air is still going to do damage, right?
One of them was a wish nuke. The other one was a real nuke.
What do you mean?
The president wished for more nukes
Yes.
surrounding Russia, more nuclear sites. And when he renounced his wish, those nukes were the ones that just disappeared. But when the other people that were like wishing for nuclear war renounced their wishes, that's when the nukes just exploded in midair. So those were real nukes that exploded in midair, whereas the other ones were wish nukes, like they weren't real nukes.
I think they would all be wish nukes, right?
Technically, but like some of them only existed because they were wishes. The other ones existed and were fired because the wish was what made them fire.
Well,
Here I
that's
go retconning already.
I'm not going to argue with that point. That's too minuscule. We're going to get into a bigger argument later, I guess. But I mean, I thought I said, I thought that the movie itself was good. I think there's like I said, there was a lot of that corniness that lent itself because it was a conscious choice. Um, I didn't.
Sorry.
I definitely thought that Kristen Wiig as Cheetah was good. I did not like the CGI. I mean, the CGI for Cheetah, in my opinion, was uh worse than the fucking Cats movie. Like, honestly, like
I think it was
uh
about on par with Cats, honestly, but
Okay, so
that's
let's
not
say it
saying
is.
much. Cats
Yeah.
was terrible. Like, and
that's what I'm saying is it was worse than Cats. Um she just looked way, I mean, the character, like they CGI Wonder Woman. The character, I mean, the Cheetah character looked 5 times more rubbery than uh Gal Gadot, than Wonder Woman did. So in the fight scenes, even like it's all CGI, and she still looked rubbery. But that's beside the point. I mean, I thought, like I said, I thought the movie was okay. Like I said, we'll watch it again. Um, Probably a couple times, just because got to get. I like to watch a couple things, but overall, like Dale said, the acting was great. Everybody did really good acting. Uh, yeah, but go ahead, Josh.
yeah, I gave it a thumbs up. I definitely like all the criticisms were there for me too. Like I think there was some plot holes that I was just kind of like, eh. I had to suspend disbelief for other ones, like the ability to fly a prop plane and then fly a jet engine from the Smithsonian was also like a huge stretch for me.
I can go
Um,
all day with the plot holes. Just
yeah, so
gassed up old jet plane that you don't know how to turn on, that most likely doesn't have fuel in it.
yeah, I literally had to be like, all of this stuff is a superhero movie and therefore possible. Like, I just had to keep telling myself that. But like when I went into it with that kind of in there, like, so I guess what I think a lot of people did going into Wonder Woman is they wanted something to be like the last Wonder Woman movie we saw. And I was going into it just being like, please don't be another shitty DC movie. Because I think Aquaman and Wonder Woman were both good DC movies. Pretty much everything else outside of the Christopher Nolan Batmans were terrible. Like I hate
I
every other
disagree. I think
DC
this is the
movie.
first bad DC movie.
Oh my
See,
god!
I'm with Dale.
Shazam!
Man, like
Shazam was good too.
Shazam was good. I thought the Suicide Squad was good. I thought
Man,
uh
okay. So I think Suicide Squad was good too. I think what I really didn't
see the
Batman
Harley
vs
Quinn movie.
Superman and then Superman. I think were
Two of my
Yeah,
all-time
so
favorite
below
movies.
standards.
Two of my all-time favorite movies.
did you
Man of
see the
Steel
Man of
Harley
and
Steel.
Quinn?
Batman vs
Man of Steel is
Superman.
high on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are super low on my like quality of DC movies. But yeah, I guess to be fair, Aquaman was fine. Uh, the
What about Justice
super
League?
Justice. I didn't like Justice League. No, I thought Justice League was terrible.
I
I
thought
really
Justice
want
League
to
was
see
good.
the Snyder cut because I hear it's a fantastic. Like, did a lot of better things for it. I would like to see that, but yeah, I just
Well, you
couldn't
have
get over.
HBO Max, so it'll come out in February.
Yeah. So I was again like I was looking into it. I was like, just don't be a shitty DC. Like, don't be one of the shitty DC movies. And I didn't think it was. I thought it was corny. Sure. Uh, Lots of plot holes. Totally. The acting,
March.
great acting.
So how can you not like it, or how can you like it then? What you
I
have to
think I
have
just went
some
in with
positive.
really low expectations, and it met all of them.
All right.
So then you're
So
here. You're not here. You're here.
But it's fun. I would watch it again. Will watch
I'm
it
gonna
again.
watch it again.
But like I want to watch it again. Like I'm not going to watch it again to be like, okay, what's some plot holes I missed? Like I was
The
like, this is a good movie.
biggest.
I liked the story.
Oh, I hated the story. The story ruined it for me completely.
My helmet just made a noise.
Yeah, I bet it did. Here is the biggest plot hole. The entire thing ruins it for me. Is that people are, she does a lasso on the guy, and everyone needs to renounce their wish, right? Guarantee not everybody on the earth renounces their wish. Here's why. Number one, People wished other people would die. People probably died in the mass chaos. Those people didn't renounce their wish.
Yes, but
Wouldn't
when
have
the
worked.
when the guy when the Irish guy, when he says, I wish you would drop dead, or I wish you would go back to, they would round you up and take you back to where you came from.
Yeah.
And he says, I wish you would drop dead. He renounces his wish.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So the girl can't renounce her wish
because she didn't hear the thing.
Yeah. And there's other people that are probably not a large percent, but probably at least 8% to 0.5% of people that died for the war. I wish people died. I wish people had cancer. I wish people whatever. The renouncer wish. If my family had cancer and I used my wish to make sure they didn't have cancer, why would I renounce my wish?
Wait. So do you think because he renounced his wish, he destroyed the rock because his wish was the rock though?
I don't think the rock got destroyed. He renounced it, which means the rock still exists.
Those wishes all came with a cost, guys. That was the whole point of the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I get.
Even if you did wish for your family member not to have cancer, it still came with a cost.
No. So it didn't come with a cost. He get to choose the cost.
Well, no, the rock chose. The rock chose the cost
until he became the rock, and then he said in the movie he got to choose what the cost was, because then he would, as he was shaking people's hand, he's like, "I'll take your army, I'll take your whatever."
So when he was doing the broadcast, he was like, "And I'll take your health, and I'll take your this, and I'll take you that, and I'll take your this, and I'll take your that." Right.
So he still took something from those people.
Yes. So, but when he renounces his wish to be, he says, "I renounce my wish to be the rock."
Yep.
The rock, maybe it magically reappears in that ring, or maybe the magic is 100% of the magic is gone because he himself, the rock, has destroyed. What they said at the beginning or in the movie is the rock has to be destroyed, or everybody has to renounce their wish. If he renounces his wish, he's not the rock is destroyed, essentially, in my thought process.
So I think the rock goes back to being a rock because the wish never happens.
Because he renounces his wish, right?
Yeah, I'm even okay with once he renounces his wish,
everybody else's
goes away. I get that. I 100% am okay with that. The issue that I have is, are the people still dead? Does everybody still remember? Like, did this just not happen? Was there a wish there? The thing. What about the wishes before the rock? Because he would hold the rock and other he became the rock. But what about the wish with the cheetah? That was before the rock.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, there's all these other.
I think that's the one, that part of that is because Gal Gadot renounced her wish. I think that she got to Cheetah, and Cheetah eventually renounces her wish. Yada yada yada. At least the initial wish to get, because he grants her the wish to be the apex predator, almighty, nothing human.
Yep.
But she would still renounce her wish to be like Gal Gadot. Possibly. I mean, at least she's not a cheetah lady anymore. She's just strong.
Yep.
But we got to get into the. I mean, Josh wants to really talk about this part.
I mean, it's not a. So I think one of the controversies that came from this, that a lot of, you guys aren't saying you saw it on the controversy. I saw it a lot on Reddit. I saw it a lot. So like, you're talking about all your stuff on your Google feed. My Google feed had a lot of people complaining that, I wanted to say Steve Rogers. Obviously, it's not Steve Rogers, but when Steve came back,
Steve Trevor.
Yeah, Steve Trevor came back in somebody else's body, and the fact that Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman had sex with that person.
Hey, we don't know that they had sex. We really don't. Sex.
Did any sort of physical contact with that person brings up a huge problem of consent, and it not being a problem when it's a girl doing it to a guy, but if it was a guy doing it to a girl, there would be this big double standard there. Mm-hmm. And while I totally think that's a real problem that exists, I don't think that necessarily happened in this movie, only because there's some really fine details that come up when we start talking about if somebody's consciousness is replaced by somebody else's. Does that classify as them being a new person? Are they the person they were before the consciousness switch, or are they the person whose consciousness now they have. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
I
3
thought
different scenarios there.
I didn't like how they did that either anyway, because they could have
Oh,
just
so stupid.
they could have easily just had him come back.
But that was the Rock saying, "Fine, you get your wish. Steve's back, but he's in the body of somebody else."
well,
That was the
so
cost?
I would
no, that's
assume
not the
so. I
cost.
don't know what
No,
else the cost was.
the cost was she loses her powers.
Oh yeah, that too.
So here's the issue. The issue is, or not the issue. What the thing is I think the thing is it depends on what her wish was, and we don't know what her wish was. If it was a wish to where she could talk to Steve again, or she could find love again. That's the key is whatever her wish was, which we don't know because it was never said. We just see the wind blow her hair, and then the next day Steve Trevor, God, fuck Josh, Steve Rogers,
Right?
Steve Trevor is back.
I mean,
Is
that's the whole monkey paw thing, like
Yeah, for sure.
you got
And
to A, be careful how you phrase your wish, and B, when you get your wish, something else happens
yeah,
at a cost for it. Like those are both side effects of the monkey's paw. And I
so
think that's definitely what happened here too. But I don't think it was rape. Just because if someone's consciousness is changed, you aren't your physical body. Like
well, and
you
that's a,
aren't your physical body.
What if you're unconscious?
and so that's the thing is he they meet
I
up in
mean,
the end. I think that's how they retcon it. Is they meet up and he has no fucking clue who she is. So I think that's like where they make the point where it's like he has no idea. So it's like he
until
was
she
never
had some
there.
Amazonian STD she gave him.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though. With the Planned Parenthood being funded, we're okay with that. I mean, they can take care of that and everything like that. This is why we donate to Planned Parenthood, everybody.
Greek
Um,
penicillin. Just rub some
um,
Greek fire on it; it'll go away.
So, I mean, to me, it was a non-issue. I saw, like I said, we saw the post on Facebook that you and I were, for Chris. And then we, like I said, I looked the same day that I saw that. And like I said, I think we talked about it 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah,
I looked through Reddit a little bit, when that happened, and I didn't see anything, but I didn't Google the 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 specific phrase we talked about. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
besides you guys bringing it up, I haven't heard anything.
and like I said, I didn't hear tons about it. I'm not super.
I mean, of the 3 of us who subscribes to that kind of news, pretty sure it would most likely pop up on my Facebook anyway first. Like, but I
But
mean, yeah, that was just it doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing. I didn't want it to be. It was just I wanted to recognize that was a criticism of the movie for a select group of people.
Yeah.
Beyond the plot points
I
and
mean,
all the
it's
other terrible problems,
again,
CGI problems.
the plot hole that we have is okay. He could come back, but most like he could come back as himself, no big deal. But again, it all comes down to what her wish was and how they explain it. If they get Warner Brothers gets a hold of it and um can make some explanation of what they in their production mind thought her wish was and how the monkey's paw took that, maybe they can squash some of that. But until that happens, or until
I got super sad, like when he renounced his, or when she had to renounce her wish, like when he was like, "You got to do it." I thought that was a super emotional scene, and I loved that.
definitely, I
I
mean,
mean, as she's
that
running
thought.
and crying and healing, as she's like, as you can see that, like she's just given up that wish and the
Yeah.
transformation she does because of it. I was just like, oh yeah, someone got
So
an
going
onion.
back to the retconning, all of those abilities that she gains, that's the big plot hole too, is that she doesn't use any of those abilities in the movies that are set in a future time, which is upsetting. Uh,
I think
that
it's an alternate universe.
No, it can't be.
It's
It ruins
DC. Why not?
it ruins the whole thing. It has to
Yeah,
take
because
place in the universe or in the same universe. There's
linearly,
yeah. Go ahead.
linearly, I mean, it doesn't it can't be an alternate universe because in alternate universes the people in the alternate universes don't carry the same, like Steve Trevor would be a fucking boat guy, a fisherman, like in
Not
alternate
always.
universe.
And let's
I
say
mean, but
they don't
in
just expressly say that it is. Like there's no
No, and
reason to
I
have
think
it.
so. If there's going to be a third movie, I think that's probably going to be like, because you don't think anybody would have mentioned any of the events that happened,
Well, that's why I'm saying it's a big plot hole, is because
like.
nobody mentions it. It
And the
acts like it didn't
easiest way to
happen.
retcon that is in movie 3, be like, oh, now let's bring the Flash in and find out, oh, guess what? Flashpoint happened and this was a parallel universe. And that's why we didn't hear about it in the real universe.
yeah, but like wasn't in the Flash series, wasn't Barry Allen's character not the Flash?
What do you mean?
In the TV show,
Yeah.
Barry Allen is the Flash, right?
Yep.
And when they
Yeah.
open up the alternate universes, Barry Allen's not the Flash, right?
There's no
Not always.
but it didn't exist. The Flash didn't exist.
What do you mean? But you have the yellow
Zoom,
Flash, Zoom, right?
or no, it
And
was yeah, it's Zoom.
it's not Barry Allen, right?
But
As
there's
in,
universes that exist where Barry Allen is still the Flash.
And there's universe that exists that he's not the Flash.
Yeah.
But in the specific movie you're talking about, there was nobody. There was nobody with the Speed Force. And he doesn't
talking
even
about
have it because he had to create it again.
I'm talking about the TV show, the CW TV show.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You should. There's
Yeah.
684 episodes, and they have a watch order.
We've Googled it before and put it on the podcast.
I watched Arrow and the
Legends of Tomorrow.
Flash and Legend of Tomorrow when it was first starting.
Ooh, so did we.
And then they
That was
started.
when
Then
the podcast started.
They grabbed the bad guys to become like a Agents of Tomorrow kind of thing.
We owe this podcast to the Arrowverse.
So that's why I haven't seen everything. I don't think they can have like I was talking about the cartoon in the Flashpoint, but either way, I don't think Wonder Woman 84 is an alternate universe. If they want to do it that way, that's fine. But
I think if they do another Justice League movie, they're going to retcon the reasons that she didn't use said abilities.
Well, remember when she threw her tiara at the cameras to hide who she was?
Yes.
Like, I get that. She's trying to hide who she is. They mentioned Batman Ben Affleck mentions that, you could have been in the world the entire time, and she was in the world the entire time.
Yes.
She was like still doing Wonder Woman stuff, but
yes,
not as prevalent.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest plot hole for me was the ending, is how does everybody go back to normal? Now, there was a Doctor Who did something similar to this, where Doctor Who did the whole world changed, and then the next couple days everybody kind of forgot about it. It was just kind of like wiped from their memory, and they kind of just went about their business because everything was kind of went back to normal. I can kind of see that maybe as a plausible excuse. I wish they touched upon it though.
Yeah.
But there was like debris and shit all over Washington D.C. and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see the impact of that movie not being something that gets brought up later on in any of the other DC films.
So then here's my thing. At the end of this film, where she meets the guy again, and they're in the snow, they're in the park, and there's snow and everything.
Yeah.
It looks like it's normal. It looks like everybody forgot. Like it wasn't like a big thing.
I think it was. So I think at that point it's enough. One of those. It's enough time has passed, and maybe it was spring when that happened, and it's been
6 months later.
6 months later, and enough time has passed where people are like, like because everybody's happy. They're highlighting the fact that everybody's happy. Everybody's
It
playing.
was
People
July
are.
4th, by the way, when that happened.
Oh, it was July 4th
Yeah, yeah.
because so you're 6 months later. It's snowy time.
Yep.
You know, um, God, that Josh, you're on top of it.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
like
'cause
movies.
the fireworks, which is another big plot hole. You
Why
can
is
tell
That
me
was
a
another big
fucking
plot hole. Oh, what are these? Like,
no.
bro,
The
you've seen fireworks before.
wait, no, the fucking fact didn't. What is July 4th?
Independence Day?
Yeah.
Are you saying July 4th wasn't celebrated during World War One
No, I'm saying like
with fireworks?
no, I'm saying he was like he knew what day it was
Yeah, I don't think he knew
when
what
he
day it
came
was.
back.
I think
But
he
I
was
don't
like,
think it
"What
was
are
that.
those for?"
If he would have said, "What are those for?" might have made more sense. But he did. It was like, "What is that?" Like,
Well,
Yeah.
we'll look at that
fireworks,
point in the
Steve.
movie, when we watch it again, because
Anyway, so the plot hole was he's gonna drive through fire with a giant jet plane.
Yeah,
Like
which
radar
is
would still
essentially
work.
flak.
Radar would still
What?
work with an invisible
Of
jet,
course, radar would still work.
but
no,
it
But
went off the radar.
no, radar would not still work
Yes.
because it's a God concealment. That's the whole point. Is
oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant because of the fireworks, radar wouldn't work.
no
And I was
Oh,
like,
no, no,
what?
no, no,
radar.
no, no.
No, because of the concealment, Themyscira was hidden from literally all radar in the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
too,
Oh, okay.
because it's a god. It's God because
Yeah.
we find out she's the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the mist.
Yeah.
So
Well, she's not
but
isn't she
let's
made from clay?
uh,
Well, that's not important.
Yeah.
sort
We
of.
haven't actually talked about like that hasn't been talked about in the series, I don't think.
I mean, they kind of bring it up with the God Killer for Ares in
No,
the first one.
they bring it up because she was sculpted. I think that they literally say she was sculpted in the first one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. Let's jump into sciencey news. We have one topic. It's not very big, but it is something we said we wouldn't talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Um, so in Tesla news, um, uh, Elon Musk has been challenged to the Baja 1000 by Jim
1,000?
Glickenhaus. Yeah, Baja 1000. It's a 1,000-mile race that they do every year. Something I extremely would love to do a whole bunch if I ever become uh, what's the word wealthy enough to spend $10,000 to go do this event. I will definitely do it on an off weekend. Um, it's probably more than $10,000 because you have to have a really nice, not a really nice, but anyway, um, Jim Glickenhaus, which I'm not familiar with who that is. Josh, are you familiar with that name?
No. I was just Googling the map for the Baja 1000
It's a
because I
race.
didn't think Baja was 1,000 miles long, and I was like, how in the world do they do a Baja race that's 1,000 miles? And then I realized it's a track.
Yeah, it's Baja is not based on the place. It's just it's like Baja Blast, Josh. It's just the name.
This map looks like it's on the Baja Peninsula.
I mean,
Could be.
it-
What's
it's not.
what is the thing that this is a race that they're doing?
Yeah, so they do it every year. It's got I think 60,000 contestants or people that participant or 60,000 participants like every year. They have Baja 250, Baja 500, Baja 1000. They have 3 races. You have to qualify. You have to be a part of a thing. I mean, you have a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna Google this real quick.
He's a
Um,
director.
It most definitely is named after the Baja Peninsula where it takes place.
No, oh my God, I know it's named after that. It's just like I
Right.
said, it's just a name.
I know. I was just putting that on there.
James Glickenhaus is an American film producer.
So he's also, I think he's participated in something that has to do with hydrogen fuel cells, some form of um, technology. So he's challenged Elon Musk to the Baja 1000 race in 2023. He said, and I quote, "You have said that hydrogen technology is mind-bogglingly stupid. You've also mentioned that the Baja 1000 would be a great test for your Cybertruck. We say bring it." Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus. So on Instagram, I wonder if that'll give me any.
So you're saying this guy challenged Elon Musk to
challenge
race?
Elon Musk to a race for the Baja 1000, but I assume that he has a contending vehicle. House racing is what
So they're going to change out batteries, or he's challenging him to build a hydrogen car? What is he
no,
challenging?
he's challenging him to probably a test. What I would assume is of the how well a hydrogen powered car would do versus the Tesla truck on the Baja 1000.
Gotcha.
So they're basically, I would assume that they're going to spend the next year or two to get to the Baja 1000. And do a hydrogen vehicle. But they have let's see.
I'm
SCG.
just a little lost.
So,
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Scudera Cameron Glickenhaus is a manufacturer. They have a car manufacturing company.
Okay.
My assumption, if you go to the here, there's a link in that thing to his Instagram, and then his Instagram has a link to the. I'm gonna do this there. Copy. Copy, paste. There you go. So it's like I said, it's a racing company. They have cars. Some of them are off road. Some of them are, but seems very rudimentary though for like a racing website. I don't know. I can't tell if they have something that's hydrogen powered currently or not. That's the baffling part. I didn't see anything in the.
Even if they don't have anything hydrogen powered, they don't have any superchargers in Baja.
Well,
So
no,
that
I'm
would
sure it
be,
would
I'm
be
sure if
something
they're
that.
trying to keep in a race, they're going to need to do a battery switch. That's the only way to. That's the only way to stay in the race.
Uh,
They can't just every 2 hours charge a battery for an hour.
they can if it has a 500-mile range and charges 80% in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
I think they're trying to show that with hydrogen, the fact that you can refill a hydrogen tank in a car faster than a like charge an electric battery and get just as good or around range, that the hydrogen powered utility vehicle will be better than your electric powered one. It would be interesting if you could put like 2-3 superchargers on the 850-mile track, and have them do something like that where you could, with charge time, if you could win at that race compared to a vehicle that's hydrogen powered.
Yeah, I don't think you would be able to.
I don't know I don't know of any, like, the fact that the Cybertruck's already built and could do a Baja race slowly, like, I think you would just have to maximize how you do charging.
I mean, that it's not a race then. Any car could do it.
So they currently
Any
have a
car
car. Yes, any car can do it. So here's the thing though. They have different liveries for the Baja 1000. You
Yeah.
can take it as a stock car. You can take it as a trophy truck. You can take it as a regular. I mean, they have different, like
You could do
Probably-
ATVs and motorcycles.
Yeah, you can do anything. So they have, if you go to that website, the Scudera Cameron Glackhouse,
Yeah.
Glickenhaus, and you go to cars and you go to SGG boot, this is the car that they, I think, is what, because I found another article which is right here, says put the boots to it, challenges Elon Musk. So this SCG boot has already done the Baja 1000. I'm trying to find in the specs if it's hydrogen powered. That's what I'm currently.
Nope.
Nothing.
Well, it came up for hydrogen. I'd be surprised if it is. Even if it is, I would agree that a hydrogen powered car could beat an electric car in a race. I think the whole point of it is it's a race. If it's not a race, then it's about durability. It's not about durability, it's about endurance. You don't call it a race, it's just a drive. The whole point of the race.
I think, is an endurance challenge.
So if it's an endurance challenge, then the hydrogen car would win every time. Every time.
I don't know.
So I mean, I understand the negatives to hydrogen over electric. I get that. And that's why I'm still on board with electric being the future. I don't think where we are now is somewhere.
I mean, it's super common though for like if you have a vehicle that you make to go to Baja and do a race, like those vehicles aren't perfect vehicles. Like they're usually designed specifically for that race.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Elon Musk, if they designed a Cybertruck for that race that had maybe a longer battery life and faster charging speed, or
maybe
a battery swap or whatever,
or maybe a second battery in the bed that you can switch over without having to charge. You just you pre-build that into the bed of the truck and then do a tire rack over top of it.
I was like, you could do 1,000. Like if he built it specifically for the Baja 1000 that had a 1,000-mile range.
So that's the thing is the thing about it is you would the mechanics of the truck would have to stay the same. The only thing that he would have to upgrade is the capacity of the battery.
We would also have to upgrade anything that would do with the weight.
And we don't know what fuel economy is like on a hydrogen powered race car like that. Like it could be just draining fuel at like you might only get 100 miles before you have to fill the thing up.
Yeah, that's
and if it takes you 5 minutes to fill it up, and if you can get 300 400 miles on a Cybertruck and it takes you 15 minutes to fill up, then your race of endurance becomes more challenging.
Little more information here. I read the article some more. Glickenhaus evidently stands on the pro-hydrogen side of the industry among manufacturers like Toyota, BMW, Hyundai, and Ineos. Although his company primarily builds race cars powered by gasoline, he predicts that hydrogen electric variant of the boot pictured, which is the picture
go without stopping,
could finish the 1,000-mile Baja race without stopping to refuel. A feat that would given the team a big time advantage over its rivals. In comparison, the top of the line Cybertruck will allegedly offer a 500+ mile range, so it would need to stop and charge at least once to finish the race.
So he's saying that he'll have enough hydrogen in the car to finish the race without stopping to fuel.
Basically, yes. So
depending on how fast you can go and how rugged that car is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, from what I understand from the Baja race, there's a lot of off-road sections. There's on-track sections. There's on-road sections.
Yeah.
There's, like, rock crawling. There's a bunch of stuff that it has to go through.
Yeah.
If the Cybertruck can do that faster, it would still be able to have some charge time again and again, make this more competitive.
So here's the thing: is if they're going to make a hydrogen variant of an existing car, there's no reason that Elon Musk couldn't make a longer range variant of the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
And blow that out of the water. So
which is exactly what they did for the race against the Porsche, for the European race.
You're talking
I mean,
about
that's
Ford?
why we have the Tesla Raven now, is because they wanted to make a Porsche beating Tesla Model S that can work on a track. And because they did that, they improved the Tesla so much that they're like, hey, let's make this new Tesla variant, the Raven model, that can do that. I can't remember what European race it was, but they did the same European race the
It's not
electric
the
Porsche did.
Turbo
it's
ring.
not the Nürburgring.
Yeah, the Nuremberg. I think that's what it was.
Turbo ring.
Nürburgring.
We are running close to 2 hours on this episode.
Okay.
Good.
Well,
That's every episode.
whichever.
Hope everyone's okay with that.
Well, it's just me and you watching, I would assume. So
No, we got a few people.
I only show 2.
I show 6.
Oh.
Yeah. If you guys are still there in the ether, please say hi. I would like to.
We are gonna wrap it up here, though. Dale, can we update our? I guess let's leave our goals the same for 2021. And
Those goals were actually from like 2018, by the way.
No, I've updated them in 2020.
Oh, okay.
Or I've updated them.
We
for
updated them 2019.
So.
But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us, everybody, and we appreciate you guys tuning in to the thing. I guess we will have a special thing that we're gonna do next week. Dale's gonna do
Season
something
6 premiere.
Yep.
Season 6 premiere. Even though it should have been tonight, because that's what we're supposed to do.
I said 4 episodes. We canceled the Christmas one. 4 streams.
No,
This is number 4.
You said finish out the year. This is the new year. New year, new us.
Technically.
New year, new us, Dale. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And Dale, hit me with that outro.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Sexy Nerd Science Season 5.
Make sure to like us and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Don't forget to check out our merch on Teespring and support us on Project Nerd Patreon at patreon.com/projectnerd.